What if everything you believed about humanity's survival was never about survival at all? A boy cursed with memories that weren't his, a kingdom built on lies, and a power so dangerous, the entire world feared a single scream. This isn't just the story of Titans. It's the unraveling of destiny and how one man decided to end it all. This is the full story of Attack on Titan. Before there were humans, kingdoms, or Titans, there was something else. A formless creature slithering in the depths of the earth. A parasite. Mysterious, ancient, and alive. The hallucigenia. Nobody knows where it came from. But when a girl named Ymir stumbled into a hidden tree and fell into an underground pool, she encountered it. The parasite merged with her, and in an instant, her fragile human body was twisted into something unimaginable. She became the first Titan, but she didn't become a god. She became a slave. King Fritz, the ruler of the Eldians, didn't see her as human. He saw her as a tool. He used her power to dominate Marley and crush his enemies, to build roads, wage war, and erect a nation on the backs of her suffering. And when she finally died, not from wounds, but from heartbreak, King Fritz still wasn't done. He ordered their children, Maria, Rose, and Sina, to eat her corpse, hoping to preserve her powers. It worked. Her abilities split into 9 Titans, and those Titans were passed down through ritual, bloodline, and violence. But with the gift came a price. Every inheritor of her power died after 13 years, the same number of years Ymir lived as a Titan. It was called the Curse of Ymir, and from that moment on, every Titan shifter was doomed. This was no longer a story of power. It was the beginning of an endless nightmare. With the 9 Titans under their control, the Eldians didn't just rise, they ruled. They built an empire on fear. Cities fell, nations burned, and Marley, once a peaceful land, became one of their earliest victims. Eldians cut out tongues, erased cultures, and crushed resistance. For centuries, they believed they were gods, blessed by Ymir to rule the world. But nothing lasts forever. As generations passed, the power of the Titans was split between noble families, each vying for dominance. Civil war erupted, turning their empire inward, and in the chaos, Marley fought back. Then came King Karl Fritz, an Eldian monarch unlike any before him. Disgusted by his ancestors' atrocities, he made a bold decision: abandon the world. He took the founding Titan, fled with a select group of Eldians to Paradise Island, and sealed themselves behind 3 massive walls made from millions of sleeping colossal Titans. To the rest of the world, it looked like madness, but Karl issued a threat. If anyone attacks Paradise, I will awaken the Titans and flatten the earth. But in truth, Karl never intended to fight. He wiped the memories of his people and swore them to a false peace. He created a tranquil prison where the truth of the outside world would be buried forever. To protect that secret, a new identity was born: a false royal line, fake kings, and military powers loyal only to preserving the lie. But lies have a way of unraveling, and Karl's peace would one day awaken something far worse than war. Life under Marley's rule wasn't just cruel, it was inhumane. Eldians were corralled into ghettos, forced to wear armbands, and taught to hate their own ancestor. Children grew up believing they carried the sins of monsters, and the punishment never stopped. Grisha learned this the hard way. When his younger sister Faye stepped beyond the gates for a brief glimpse of freedom, Marleyan soldiers took her. Hours later, her lifeless body was found, torn apart by dogs, and no one was punished. From that moment on, something inside Grisha snapped. He vowed to destroy the systems that allowed it, to bring justice to his people. He joined a secret resistance group, the Eldian Restorationists, and began learning the forbidden truth about the Titans, the history of Ymir, and the founding power that had been hidden away on Paradise Island. It was there that he met Dina Fritz, the last known descendant of the true royal bloodline. Together, they had a child, Zeke, who, from the moment he could walk, was burdened with a destiny he never chose. Grisha and Dina trained Zeke day and night, hoping he would inherit a Titan power and help restore Eldian freedom. But Zeke was just a child, one who also loved his grandparents, who fed him Marleyan propaganda. Torn between 2 worlds, Zeke broke. To protect himself and the people he loved, he turned his parents into the authorities. Grisha was dragged away, Dina too. The Restorationists were caught and sent to Paradise Island, not for execution, but something worse. They were transformed into pure titans, cursed to wander the island forever in mindless rage. One by one, his comrades were pushed off the edge, but Grisha never hit the ground, because one man was waiting. Eren Kruger, a Marleyan officer hiding a deadly secret, transformed into the attack titan and destroyed the guards. He revealed the truth. He too had been carrying out a mission for years, waiting for the moment to pass it on. Kruger gave Grisha one last command. You must find the founding titan. You must save Mikasa and Armin, and you must stop the future I've seen. The names meant nothing to Grisha, not yet, but the path was already set. Grisha Yeager's life in Paradise seemed ordinary. He became a doctor. He saved lives. He married Carla. They had a son, Eren, and for a while, he buried the horrors of his past. But when the walls fell and the Titans invaded Shiganshina, Grisha knew he couldn't stay hidden. He confronted the secret royal family, hidden behind the fake monarchy, the true heirs of the founding Titan. But instead of using their power to protect the people, they refused. Bound by Karl Fritz's vow to never wage war again, they allowed countless innocents to die, all for the sake of an old promise. Grisha was left with a choice: obey a king who let his people burn, or defy fate. He chose defiance. He killed the royal heirs and consumed the founding Titan, inheriting its power. But he had no time to wield it. Knowing the 13-year curse would soon end, he turned to the only person he could trust, his son. Grisha injected Eren with Titan serum, transforming him into a mindless beast. Eren then devoured his own father, unknowingly inheriting both the attack and founding Titans. And yet, for years, Eren knew nothing of what lived inside him, nothing of his destiny, nothing of the secrets waiting in the basement. He only knew one thing. He wanted to destroy every last Titan, but fate had already decided that he would become the most powerful Titan of all. From the moment Eren joined the military, he was obsessed with freedom. Freedom from the walls, freedom from fear, freedom from the Titans. But the deeper he went, the more everything unraveled. The fall of Wall Maria was just the beginning. He discovered he could turn into a Titan himself, an ability even he didn't understand. Soon after, two of his closest comrades, Reiner and Bertholdt, revealed their darkest secret. They were the ones who destroyed the walls. The betrayal shattered what was left of Eren's innocence. They hadn't just been soldiers, they were invaders, sent from Marley to infiltrate Paradise as children. They weren't monsters, they were victims, just like him. And yet, they had killed countless innocents, caused unthinkable suffering, and now wanted to take Eren away. What followed was chaos. Titan battles in the streets. The female Titan, later revealed to be Annie, tore through the scouts in a brutal fight before crystallizing herself to avoid interrogation. Meanwhile, the scouts uncovered something terrifying. Titans were once human, transformed by some unknown force. The walls themselves were made of hardened Titan flesh. Everything they knew about their world was a lie. But the most devastating truth was still waiting, sealed beneath the rubble of Eren's childhood home. In the basement, Grisha's journals revealed the existence of Marley, a nation across the sea that had long since industrialized and modernized, while the people inside the walls had been deliberately kept in ignorance. Worse still, the Titan Theskinen were tools of war, created and controlled by humans, and the rest of the world saw the people of Paradise not as survivors, but as devils. The truth was out, but so was the enemy, and Eren knew peace would never come through understanding, only power. While the people of Paradise were just discovering the truth, the world outside was already preparing for war. Marley, desperate to regain the founding Titan, began grooming a new generation of warriors, children trained to kill, raised on lies, and promised power in exchange for loyalty. Among them were names that would soon become infamous: Reiner Braun, Annie Leonhardt, Porco Galliard, Piek Finger, Zeke Yeager. Zeke, now the Beast Titan, was their ace, a tactician with royal blood and unmatched power. But what Marley didn't know was that Zeke had his own plan. He wanted to end the Titan curse forever by sterilizing all Eldians, wiping out their bloodline peacefully through the founding Titan's power. It was called the Euthanization Plan, and Eren Yeager pretended to support it, but his heart was already somewhere else. After reading his father's journals and seeing the state of the world, something inside Eren broke. The hopeful boy who once dreamed of freedom beyond the sea now saw only chains, hatred, and enemies waiting to strike. He came to a grim conclusion. If freedom meant destroying the rest of the world, then so be it. With the help of Marleyan defectors, Yelena and Onyankopon, the scouts modernized rapidly. They built new ships, studied advanced weaponry, and for the first time in history, the island was no longer defenseless. And then came the raid. Disguised as a wounded soldier, Eren infiltrated Marley, attending a global summit hosted by Willy Tybur, a nobleman from a family that secretly controlled world politics. Tybur made a grand declaration. The world would unite to wipe out Paradise Island once and for all. But Eren struck first. Right in the middle of the festival, he transformed into the Attack Titan, slaughtering soldiers, civilians, and Marley's high command in one devastating rampage. He killed Willy Tybur, he battled the Warhammer Titan, and won. The scouts joined him in a coordinated surprise attack that leveled the city. And then, Gabby happened. The young warrior candidate, furious after witnessing her friends' deaths, boarded the scouts' escape airship and shot Sasha, one of the most beloved characters in the series. With a single bullet, she shattered the illusion of righteousness on both sides. Now, there were no heroes, no villains. Just broken people locked in a war none of them truly understood. Back on Paradise, Eren and Zeke were imprisoned separately as the scouts debated what to do next. Was Eren still on their side? Could he be trusted? The truth was simple. Eren had already made his decision, and the world had no idea what was about to hit them. For years, Eren fought to survive, to protect his friends, to understand his powers, to uncover the truth. But once he saw what waited beyond the sea, everything changed. There was no freedom, only more hatred, more enemies, more wars. So, Eren made a choice, not as a soldier, not as a pawn, but as a god. He betrayed the scouts, allied with Zeke, pretended to support the euthanization plan. But his true goal was far more terrifying. In the Paths, the ethereal realm of all Titans, Eren confronted Ymir herself. She was still there, still waiting, still building Titans from the sand. Eren did something no one else had. He set her free. In return, she gave him the full power of the founding Titan. And with a single scream, Eren awakened the millions of colossal Titans buried within the walls. The earth shook, cities fell, oceans boiled. This was the rumbling, the doomsday prophecy the world never believed would happen. And Eren wasn't bluffing. He marched his Titans across the continents, flattening everything in their path. His goal wasn't to conquer, it was to erase, to destroy every last soul outside Paradise, so that his people would never be hunted again. The world had turned him into a monster. Now he would become their nightmare. The battle to stop Eren wasn't just a mission. It was a betrayal, a heartbreak, a last stand. Eren had marched the rumbling across the world, annihilating entire civilizations. The death toll rose into the billions, and yet, part of his old friends still believed they could reach him. But Eren had severed all ties. In the Paths, he told Mikasa and Armin plainly, "I'm doing this because I have to. You can't stop me." The remaining warriors, Reiner, Annie, Piek, joined forces with the scouts. Former enemies were now the last hope of humanity. But hope was running out. Hang Zoe gave her life, holding off the advancing Titans just long enough for the others to escape. Her sacrifice was the first of many. They caught up to Eren at last, or what was left of him. His body had transformed into a grotesque, skeletal god, stretching miles across the land. The 9 Titans of the past, armored, flying, beastly, emerged to defend him. And yet, the scouts pushed forward. Armin was captured and dragged into the Paths, where he found Zeke, now hollow and broken. But through Armin's words, Zeke rediscovered purpose and helped the others return to reality. Levi struck down the Beast Titan once and for all, fulfilling a vow made years ago. In a desperate gamble, Armin transformed into the Colossal Titan and detonated on Eren's back. But even that wasn't enough. Eren returned, And then came the moment that broke everything. Mikasa, the girl who had loved him from the very beginning, found a way inside his Titan's mouth, and with tears streaming down her face, she killed him. It was the only way. With Eren's death, the founding Titan vanished. The curse of Ymir lifted. All Titans, from pure to shifter, reverted back to human. The world, at last, was free. But the cost was unimaginable. Eren was buried beneath the tree where it all began. Mikasa visited often as the world slowly rebuilt itself. Decades passed, generations moved on, but peace never lasts. Centuries later, a new war erupted, and once it ended, a young boy and his dog wandered into the forest. They discovered a strange ancient tree with roots in a hollow trunk, a tree that looked familiar, and just like that, the cycle may begin again. Because in Attack on Titan, the question was never, who is the enemy? It was, can humanity ever break the cycle of hatred? Or are we always one war away from becoming monsters again?